All right, today we're talking about one of the biggest purchases anyone ever makes, buying a home. And that whole experience, it's about to get a massive tech upgrade. We're going to break down exactly how artificial intelligence is changing the game, and we're going to use the new partnership between home building giant PulteGroup and the AI company Sitecore to see how it all works.
But first, let's just ask a question that I'm sure you've thought about if you've ever looked for a house online. Why is it so messy? You know what I mean. You're jumping between Zillow, the builder's website, your email, Instagram. It feels totally disjointed. Well, that's the exact problem we're going to unpack.
So to really understand the solution here, we've got to map out the problem. Let's take a little trip into what I'm calling the modern home buying maze and see what buyers and builders are really up against. And this, right here, is why it's a maze. Your journey to find a home is scattered all over the place. Think about it. You might see an ad for a community on social media. Then you go to the company website, then you get an email, and then you see the same home on some third-party listing site. For you, the buyer, it's just confusing. And for the builder, it's a completely chaotic way to keep track of who's interested. So there has to be a better way, right? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in: unified AI platforms. These are the tools that are designed to draw a whole new digital blueprint, one that brings some serious order and intelligence to all that chaos.
The platform PulteGroup is using is called SitecoreAI. So what on earth is it? Just think of it like a master conductor for all of a company's marketing. It's an omnichannel platform, which is just a fancy way of saying it takes all those separate channels we just talked about and it makes them work together as one. The goal is to create one single, seamless, and totally personalized journey for you, the home buyer. And this quote from PulteGroup's CIO, Mike Gould, just nails it. The key word here is consistency. It shouldn't matter if you find them on Instagram, their website, or an app. The experience should feel connected, like it knows you, right from that very first click.
So how does it do all that? Well, this is kind of the secret sauce. Instead of a builder trying to juggle 5 different pieces of software, SitecoreAI bundles it all into one neat package. It handles the website content, it personalizes what you see, it powers the search for homes, it organizes all the photos and videos, and it runs the marketing campaigns. Having it all in one place is what makes the whole thing so incredibly powerful.
Okay, so that's all the techie stuff on the builder side. But what does this actually feel like for you, the person who's just trying to find a new home? Well, let's look at how this tech basically becomes your own personal AI guide.
So picture this. You're on the website and you ask a chatbot a question, maybe about a specific school district. Now, instead of just sending you a link, the AI asks a follow-up question, like, is that school district your #1 priority? And if you say yes, it might suggest other communities that are also in that district. Or maybe it'll show you alternative floor plans. It lets you use tools to actually visualize the space, and only after you've done all this exploring does it say, hey, let's connect you with a human agent. And here's the real game changer. By the time you actually talk to a person, you are not starting from zero. You've already done a ton of the initial research, you've figured out your priorities, and you've explored your options. The AI has done all that early legwork, which means the sales agent is now talking to a highly qualified, super informed customer. It saves a huge amount of time and frustration for everyone. Now, of course, whenever we start talking about powerful AI, there's always that elephant in the room, right? What about the people? Are the robots coming for our jobs? Let's talk about how this is really a story of humans and AI actually working better together. The fear is pretty obvious, that a smart system like this is just going to replace human sales agents. But the reality that we're seeing play out is, well, it's the total opposite. This tech doesn't replace them, it empowers them. It basically takes all the tedious, repetitive, initial research work off their plate so they can focus on what humans are great at, building relationships and closing the deal.
And this isn't just a theory, there's actual proof. Another big home builder, Taylor Morrison, did something similar. And at first, their sales team was pretty skeptical, but the data didn't lie. The agents who actually embraced the new AI system sold more homes, consistently more, than the agents who didn't use it. The AI wasn't their competition, it was a tool that turned them into top performers.
So let's zoom out and look at the real big picture here. This isn't just about a smarter way to do marketing. This is actually a sneak peek into the entire future of what home buying is going to look like for all of us.
Because the ultimate vision here is so much bigger than just selling a house. It's about creating the home buying experience of the future. a process that feels smooth, intelligent, and genuinely helpful, from the moment you start dreaming about a new home to the day you're holding the keys.
So what does that future actually look like? Well, it means the technology doesn't stop once you find a community. It could help you streamline that mountain of paperwork. It could connect you directly with interior designers or even moving companies. The entire journey, from A to Z, becomes this one single seamless process. It's really about turning the page to a new chapter in your life without all the usual headaches.
So, the big takeaway here is that AI is getting ready to untangle one of the most complicated and emotional purchases any of us will ever make. And that leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. If AI can fundamentally redesign how we buy a home, what other complex, messy parts of our lives are next?